Okay.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, so I am going to share my screen and we're going to navigate to our folder that we're supposed to be on. So remember, at this point, you should have gotten in here because you saw Zoom where to get to Mrs. Post. Then we go to quarter one. Unit one. Then we are on week 3. And today is, everybody.
Thursday.
Thank you, Yaslin. Yes, today is Thursday. Okay, so we have our warm-up discussion board questions. So go ahead and click there. We're going to go right in order, okay? And remember, I have it right here embedded already. So you're already at your discussion, but at the top it says Thursday, 9/24/2020 warm-up. You can abbreviate the words Thursday, but put today and put the warm-up next to it. So what I have right on top, you write. You have 2 questions that you're going to answer in your notebook first. So you have to do it in the notebook first, okay? First one says, Valerie wrote all the powers of 3 that she knew. So she wrote 3 to the power of 1 is 3, 3 to the power of 2 is 9, 3 to the power of 3 is 27, 3 to the power of 4 is 81. What is 3 to the power of 5? Remember, calculators are okay. So you need to answer number 1. And I'll pause before I read number 2 to you. Number 2. So I'm going to start reading number 2. So record. Number 2, the calculator on the right is broken. Oh no. So the keys 0, 1, and 2 do not work. How can you make the number 21 without using those 3 keys? So I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you an idea, okay? You can't use mine. Don't steal it, okay? I might do 7 times 3 because I know 7 times 3 equals 21. And I know that 7 and 3 are still options for me. Think about it. You could add, you could subtract, you can multiply, you can divide, but you can't use the numbers 0, 1, or 2. So I want you to think of a few ways that you can make 21 on that calculator without using those keys.
And then when we're finished with these 2 in our notebook, do we then go to our discussion board and enter in what we got?
Yes, we do, Mrs. Pegram. You are on the ball. I already see. Oh, let's see. Ooh, Mariah, look at you. Look at you, girl. I'm liking what you put there. 1 equals 3, 3 to the power of 2 equals 9, 3 to the power of 3 equals 27, 3 to the power of 4 equals 81. And then they asked over here on the side, what is 3 to the power of 5? That goes in order. We know it's repeated multiplication. It's written down. So 3 to the power of 5, I could do one of 2 things. One, I could say, okay, let me rewrite this in and do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. I could do that in my calculator, but guess what?
You could.
What could I do?
You could do 81 times 3.
Why 81 times 3?
Because 81 is 3 to the power of 4. So 3 to the power of 5 would basically be multiplying that by 3 again.
That's right.
That's how I got
look,
the answer.
he told us this, 81 times 3. Now, what if, because I'm going to give you a hint. Remember, you have your test next Wednesday. What if it said, and we would have to read really carefully, It said, I can't even remember who my person's name is. Valerie wrote all the powers of 3 she knew, and she put 3 to the power of 4, but they said, and wanted to know what 3 to the power of 6 is. What kind of tricky question is this? What's happening here? They want to know what 3 to the power of 6 is. What can I do? And let's kind of piggyback on what Zachary just did. He said he knew 3 to the power of 4 was 81. So what could he do? What could you do? How could you find out 3 to the power of 6 from here?
You could multiply 81 times 3 and then multiply that by 3.
Yes. You could just do that because it got you to 4. So you would need to know this is the power of 5. This is the power of 6. Sometimes what I do is I label what I have. Oh, this is 3 to the power of 4. I need to get to 3 to the power of 6. So I need this one to 3 to the power of 5 to 3 to the power of 6. And I make sure I have enough 3's in there. Because guess what? Sometimes us tricky teachers like to see how well you're paying attention here. If it's 3 to the power of 4 I give you, and I'm asking for 3 to the power of 6. If you gave me 243, well, even though your math is right, you didn't give me what I'm asking for, right? See, tricky teacher, just telling you. So we know 81 times 3, that gave us 256, right? Yes? No, what was it? It was 253, sorry. Whew, sorry, this is supposed to have a moment. Coffee didn't kick in yet. I could take from here and then go times 3. Because remember, exponents show repeated multiplication.
It's not the right answer.
It's 81 times 3, right?
81 times 3 is
243.
43, yeah.
Thank you.
43.
Yep, 243 times 3, which gives me 729. So you could do one of two things. You could take it from the pattern that they give you that Valerie wrote, and she put some pattern already there. Okay, you could go from there and just go times 3 times 3. Or if you're like, you know what, that just confuses me, you could have said 3 to the power of 6, I'm just going to write it over here, equals 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. And then what you could have done is you could have just gone straight from there if that is easier for you. But sometimes they give you part of the work. See, here's up to the power of 4. They gave us this part already. So they're just picking up from there. 81 times 3, that number times 3. Remember how we were doing like a chain to kind of link it along? Yeah? I see Anthony saying yes. Good.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right. So good job on that. And I have to say the calculator problem, those are amazing. You guys really need to go and read some of those questions. You followed my rules really, really well, looking for 0, 1, and 2, making sure those don't exist in your equations. But really, really good. Okay, let's go back to our notes.
Broken calculator pattern problem.
You do, Zachary? Well, I will keep that in mind, and I will try and put another one in there for us maybe next week. Okay? I will keep that tucked in my head. Okay? Thanks for giving me your feedback. Okay. We've been talking about perfect squares the past few days, like all week long. And we have found the power of the perfect squares from 0 to 10. And then we also found them 11 through 15. Remember we wrote them in our notebooks? I'm looking at you there, but I know you're here in my camera. Okay, today, let's make sure we find 16 through 20 squared. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, yes, you may use a calculator, because remember, what will I put in my calculator to find 16 squared? What equation would I put in? What would I do?
16 times 16.
You're right. I would put 16 times 16. Get your answer. 17 times 17. Get your answer. 18 times 18. Get your answer. So 16 squared through 20 squared. I'm going to cover my answers. And then when we come back, you will check your work. Ready? Okay. Set. Go.